imagine what Cuba could do with a month worth of blockade. In other words, at 400 and something million.
Yeah, 421 million.
With that amount of money, Cuba could ensure, in a very comfortable way, the capacity to guarantee all the medicines and the drugs that the public health system needs to ensure, I'm saying in a comfortable way, for the whole population. We have a very sophisticated public health system that provides for the whole population free of cost. With those 400 million, that could be secured for Cuba without any limitations, I would say quite comfortably. And you can repeat that in many ways. If you look at any country around the world, but let's say Latin America, you have countries that, like Ecuador, that is having 15-hour blackouts, lack of power.
Wow.
You have a country like Argentina, such a wealthy country that has immense pockets of poverty. All over the country, people are losing weight because of lack of food and not having the possibilities to sustain themselves and their families. And yet none of those countries suffers an economic blockade. If the U.S. economic blockade were to be lifted, the potential for Cuba would be immense. If Americans were not to be prohibited, as they are today, from traveling to Cuba, if the country would not prohibit to them to sell in Cuba, or to buy products in Cuba, or to provide credits to Cuba, all of this is prohibited. The U.S. government prohibits its citizens to do all of this, or anyone under its jurisdiction. The potential for Cuba would be immense. But even if the U.S. would continue to prohibit all of that for Americans, but it would stop trying to interfere, as it does, with the commercial and economic activities of Cuba in any country around the world, the implications for Cuba, for the positive, are very, very significant. The economy would improve. The possibilities of development, of stabilizing the current macroeconomic situation of Cuba would be very favorable, just by not pushing the economic blockade outside of the U.S. borders.